clocking very significantly large value. So we believe that if everything goes well and we get approval from the Chinese regulatory authority and with a very strong commercial partner like CMS, we will see good benefit, good significant traction for desidustat to become a very large global product for us. And it's a royalty-based partnership that we have. So once everything happens, once we're able to commercialize, we can definitely then speak more about it. But it's a very positive sign. And if everything goes well, it would be only a two-player market kind of thing, which will offer a great opportunity for desidustat.
So it's manufactured by them?
No, it's manufactured by Zydus.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you, sir. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Sayan Mukherjee.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking my question. So just one clarification to start with. Your guidance for next year is consolidated high teen growth or double-digit growth? I just missed that. And also on the margin, you're expecting it to be flat with Asacol HD competition, or you expect it to improve for next year?
So I think on a conservative side, if we see Asacol competition at the basic, we will definitely maintain FY24 margins. But if we see scale up of our new critical launch that has happened right now and with other benefits, we will work towards improving it further. In terms of growth, yes, again, I think critical launches will play an important role in the growth. So from double digit to high teens will all depend on the successful launches. One which we have done and few we hope to do. So if that all goes well, we do hope to see better growth.
And so this number that you mentioned is on a consolidated basis at an overall company level, double digit to high teen is what one can expect.
Sayan, just to clarify, Nitin here,
yes,
what
sir.
we told, all the businesses will register a double digit growth, and at aggregate level, we expect high teens growth.
Okay, understood. And so this Mirabegron launch, I mean, what's your expectation of competitive intensity going forward? Do you have a view there?
Our current best estimate is we do not expect in the near term any more competitive intensity. So it will be currently on one strength, two players, and on the higher strength, single player market.
Understood. And so finally, before I join back on the specialty and innovation piece, there are a lot of moving parts as we see today. So from a next 3 years perspective, can you just lay out what are the key milestones we should watch out for, the meaningful ones? And also, how should we think about the cost structure here with respect to R&D spend, sales and marketing efforts, on the cost side and investment side from a next 3 year perspective?
So for FY25, our R&D spend, we believe will be around 7 to 8% is our current guidance. On the key milestones, I think there are 2-3 critical milestones. The first, which is for our lead candidate, saroglitazar. So we finished our recruitment for PBC indication. So 1 year from now, we will have a readout on the results. And if we see positive results, which we hope, then we will be filing it in the US for NDA application. And probably 6 months to 1 year from then, we would see commercialization of that. If we are successful with good data, FY26, we will part of next FY26, we will see commercialization expenses get built in for the launch, and FY27 more meaningfully. Beyond that, as I said, desidustat will be the next milestone for approval in China and really kicking that off. Third will be our Zycubo, which is CUTX-101, going through a rolling NDA filing and potentially Q4 of FY25, potentially seeing an approval and launch. And then there are obviously multiple product launches that we have planned for in India, day one launches, which will be meaningful. So I think all in all, these will be part of the plans for the at least FY25 journey.
And this our experience of desidustat in India. Is there any color? The numbers look a bit low. I mean, how do you see that ramping up in India? And what are the issues that we are facing in India currently?
So in DESI in India, we have seen excellent results. So I
Okay.
think it is one of our best new launches. So we don't see any concern, and for it to become, the 100 crore plus franchise soon is definitely the goal. So there is
Okay.
actually seeing very good traction on DESI. We don't have any low growth issues in that market, in that product.
Okay, that's great. Sir, one last, if I can, sir, any color on vaccine, any major uptick you see, WHO approval or export opportunities over the next 3 years, and if you can give some granular details on timeline there.
So I think FY24, the key milestone for vaccines will be first to get pre-qualification for MR, TCV, and renew the rabies pre-qualification. That would be the most important part. If that goes through well, we will see immediately opportunity on rabies in a meaningful manner. Post that, I think more it is a calendar year 26-27 for MR and TCV global public tender market opportunity, which will be very meaningful. Currently, I would say the immediate opportunity for MR will be the India vaccine tender opportunity that is coming up, which we would like to participate and see if we can succeed. Our flu vaccine and other vaccines continue to scale up meaningfully. So I think all of that is going well, but as I always have said, that more FY26, 27 is the journey where you will see major scale up of the vaccines business. Also, we don't speak always because it's not really a vaccine, but our rabies immunoglobulin, which is the dual monoclonal antibody, also is getting registration across India and other places in terms of getting it in the cares into the usage, and that will also see some improvement over the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from Bino.
Hi, good evening and congrats on a great set of numbers. Just a couple of questions. Sharon, by just following up on the previous question, mirabegron competition, what is preventing it? Is it the patents that are still in force which go run till 2030, or is there some FDA related exclusivity?
No, it's to do with litigation and IP.
Understood. Today morning, you announced this distribution agreement with MSN. Earlier, you have done one with Synthon as well.
Yes.
Just for our understanding, in these kind of distribution agreements, what is the sort of profitability that we get? Is it just a distribution margin around 10%, or is it significantly better?
No, it's a profit share arrangement.
Okay, so it should be much better than a typical distribution agreement.
Yeah, it's an equal profit share.
Okay, understood. Have you launched Situvia Situmet already?
Sorry?
Situvia Situmet, the Januvia 505B2. Have you already launched it?
Yes, we have launched Z2Met, and Z2Met IR will be the next one, which has also got approval and launch. And we have had good success. It's a tough launch in terms of making a branded launch in the US market, but we are seeing a good traction on it, and we see over the next 5 years it being a meaningful product for Zydus.
Great. One last, if I may squeeze in. This year, 24, we saw that Revlimid was a bit episodic, more in 1Q and 4Q. Is it going to be similar in 25 as well?
Yeah, Q1 will be higher than Q4.
Q1 and Q2. Okay. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from Nimish Mehta.
Yeah, hi. I hope we are able to hear me.
Yes.
Just one question on the US generics market. I mean, from the data that we have, we see that there has been some significant price erosion in the month of April. How do you see that? I mean, and what is the impact on our portfolio?
So I don't know overall. So we have had, I mean, I think our base portfolio is stable. And as I said, they have been highly genericized. And I think overall we have seen a good traction on the business. So I think, as I always say, the market is not changed. It is always going to be a large consolidated buying, which if hyper competition comes in, there will be price de-escalation. And depending on where the product is and competition is, that will continue. But with the new products and certain capabilities that we have in supply chain resilience, and how we have a strong customer insight as well as supply service levels, I think we are seeing good sticky business. So, but I think fundamentally nothing has changed in the market. It's still hyper competitive if there are more competitors. But as I said, our discipline has always been to not sell products without making margin, and that is helping us.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, have you seen some fall in pricing on the base business, or that's what I'm trying to understand? I understand, I mean, the new products and the other strategy that we use for getting the business. But has the base business,
No, there is
and you
only we don't have a heightened price erosion. It's normal price erosion that is there, but nothing different from the earlier quarters.
Understood. If I may, one question on the domestic business as well. If I'm not wrong, most of the large companies, including ours, have been focusing now more on the trade generic business in the domestic business. So, can you let us know what is the trigger, and if that expands, will that also not require a lot of capacity? I mean, because it's a volume business and it's not typically a value business. Just your thoughts on that. Thank you.
So the trade generics business is generally a little different trade channel that utilizes this opportunity. I think for us, we are more, I would say, measured in our approach towards the trade generics business. We are not, the way we are launching the products is we only focus more on the branded side of our business. And with the portfolio that we already have in trade generics and some of the portfolio that we miss because we don't want to build it in the branded side, we have that trade generic offering. But by and large, I think our focus is more towards the branded side. Trade generic is more opportunistic for us.
So you don't see a significant growth in that category, which I think other companies are looking at.
I think the category is showing growth. It is also going to be hyper competitive and price challenge, but there is growth definitely there. But as I said, for us, our focus right now is more on the branded side and the specialty and the proprietary side of the business. This is more of a opportunistic business.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from Bino.
Hi, thanks for getting me back again. Just two follow-up questions. One, there are these two biotech products, one in phase 3 and one just completed phase 1. Are these biosimilars, and are these also being developed for the US market?
So the biosimilars, currently our strategy is only focused towards India and emerging markets. One of the phase 1 molecule is our proprietary molecule that we are starting a phase 1 in June.
Understood. Second, there was a recent tentative approval you got for Prevymis letermovir. I believe there is a exclusivity which is preventing a final approval, but that exclusivity gets over, I think, in November or so this year. Is that a near-term launch?
So unfortunately, I'm not 100% clear when that launch will be, but we can come back to you separately if we have a clear view. Yeah, currently, it is not launched for sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from Harsh.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. 2-3 quick questions. I joined the call a little bit late, so maybe repetitive, but one on Liquimeds, the small molecule portfolio, I think so we had mentioned that a large growth driver would be the US market. So just from that perspective, anything for us to keep in mind in terms of important timelines, and would FY25 uh, 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 see any catalyst just from that business per se, that segment per se, and any launches or partnered assets from that portfolio would get categorized under the number of launches that we already report for the US market, 2 bits for Liquimeds.
Yeah, so I think Liquimeds, the important thing is that we have today 6 marketing approvals for the specialty 505(b)(2) side of the business. In UK, we have 13 products that have been supplied out of the 15 that we have approved. Number of products that we still have waiting approval. There are 2 more specialty products waiting for approval, and another 15 in UK which are waiting for approval. And we will see some of these approvals come through. Recently, also we saw one approval come through. So, and this is the more specialty side of the business in the US. So it's not. I wouldn't say the scale up. We'll definitely see in FY25 also from the last year, and going forward, we are also seeing meaningful scale up because these are branded businesses, especially in the US. So once the scale up happens, they will be sticky with very good profit margins.
So should we assume like 3 to 5 approvals come launches in FY25 just from this portfolio, roughly?
More.
Okay, okay. And in terms of the margin guidance that we had called out in case of Asacol competition, and on that part, we had mentioned that the important launch that we have done recently, the scale up of that is also pretty important along with other launches. So should we assume another high value launch in second half of FY25, which is very similar to the profile of Mevetric to that extent?
So I think, as I said, I would say the significant scale launch right now has been Mirabegron, but we have to see how do we succeed in that going forward. But yeah, we have still a lot of products that will come for approval, which will add to the value growth for the organization. So yeah, overall FY25, as I said, we still continue to believe that we'll see double-digit growth in spite of Asacol competition in the US.
Sure. And just from our understanding perspective, we have given the guidance in case of the Asacol competition. Directionally, if you were to call out a best case scenario, let's say without Asacol competition, where should we think about the range of margins per se? Just very directionally.
So without Asacol competition, obviously we will see very significantly much higher margins than what we have currently enjoyed in the last quarter. So that is the best estimate, but I think there's so many moving parts, it's difficult to say. But last quarter we did 29.5% margin. If Asacol competition is not there, it definitely potentially possible to achieve that across that.
Sure, that's helpful. And one last, if I may squeeze in, I might have missed this, but have we launched Vasepa in fourth quarter?
We have launched Vasepa, but not in. I think we recently, but we don't have scale manufacturing capacity yet. So once which we do to third party. So once we are able to scale up our manufacturing, which will require at least 2 more quarters, then we would see more capability of ours to take any meaningful business. But right now we don't have capacity.
But this is not to do anything with the API supply issue per se, right? So you're just getting it manufactured through a third party.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Sayan Mukherjee.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question again. So just one question on acquisitions. The cash balance is rising, and with very high value launches that we have seen, and we continue to see, I think that's going up. You have done some buyback, but still, I think the cash balance will keep rising. So when you think about acquisition prospects, we haven't seen Zydus doing much in India, unlike many of your peers. And then you are investing in specialty. So, and do you have some size in mind, or what exactly you would be looking at? Are you okay doing $500-600 million acquisition? If you can give some color, what's available, what you're willing to invest, how you're thinking about inorganic opportunities in general.
So I think our first priority will be to diversify our business in the healthcare space. So it's to do more to do with market entry in different geographies if we get an opportunity. But large part of what we want to focus on is specialty. So one is our own pipeline, and then potentially see an opportunity if we are successful with our own pipeline to coming to approval to find opportunities to acquire and scale that up meaningfully. So that will be, I think, our first wish list to build an orphan disease business. The second, obviously, which we are already committed to, is our rare portfolio of businesses. So we acquired Zokinvy, and we hope we can continue on both our internal pipeline, but more importantly, continue to find opportunities in the rare disease space for acquisition. We do hope to enter more markets which are meaningful, either directly or potentially again with a differentiated pipeline like liquimeds that we have. So those will be the first priority of products. In India, we will look for brand, more brand businesses, brands that can be, which can help us overall in terms of it being accretive to the current business that we do. Again, something that is differentiated would be nicer. We do like the FM's OTC space also, so we will look to see what we can do with that, both in wellness or in pharma. So I think those are some of the areas that we are looking at. So I would say the ticket size will not be the constraint that we look at, but depending on the market and the opportunity, we want to make a profitable business in those places. So in the US, our first expectation is how do we quickly scale up and become profitable on the specialty front, provided our current assets see the light of day. And if that happens, then that will be the focus for the company.
And there are different geographies you mentioned. Which geography you would be interested in?
So I think Europe is something that we need to figure out, right? And whether it is the some part, building a rare disease or specialty part of the business in Europe beyond the trade generics that we do. Also look at certain niche therapy areas and see if we can look at some opportunities to do something there. And lastly, also look at the hospital franchise that is there in Europe. So those will be some areas that we continue to look at. And overall, as I said, our mission now is to make sure that we build patient-centric businesses. So medicines is one part of being patient-centric, but also how do we build businesses that are beyond just medicine, and making sure that we are looking at companion diagnostics, care, and other areas that are important for treating chronic diseases. So those are some of the areas that we want to continue to pursue. So in the oncology segment, we already built a strong companion diagnostics business with our current book of business with both Guardian and the other onco product that we have for diagnosis for breast cancer. So we're looking to scale those kind of opportunities further and build a meaningfully different business, I would say.
Great, sir. And just one last, if I can ask on the GLP-1 opportunity, how you see Zydus positioned there? You have made filings in the US. So what are your expectations? And if you can talk about the capabilities that Zydus has developed here, and when can we see, any meaningful contribution from this portfolio going forward?
Yeah, so I think the meaningful capability is to obviously develop a peptide capability to obviously characterize the peptide, capability to create a drug device combination, and have that capability of both obviously the drug part, but also the device part. I think those are the capabilities that we have now built. On the commercialization part, I think we will prepare for launch of the GLP-1s whenever the patents are over. and we are preparing for market by market launch depending on the patent expiry.
Great, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Nitin Agarwal.
Hi, sir. Thank you. Thanks for taking my question, Sharad. Given the way the commentary for you has been, F25 and also F26 look to be very, very strong years for us, given that they will continue to have tailwinds from Revlimid, possibly Concall, as well as even Mirabegron for now. How should we look about the year after that, post F26 onwards? Are we looking at potentially a largish cliff coming in the earnings as some of these big ticket opportunities begin to fade away, or do you think there is enough in the pipeline to take care of to sort of substitute some of these high growth opportunities as they fade?
So specific to the US, I think, as I said, beyond this, we at least have 2 to 3 other products where we believe we have sole exclusive launches available in the years after 26. So we do still see a very healthy opportunity for the company to be able to launch meaningful launches with differentiation or sole exclusivity.
So we should not look at a situation potentially that we have a largish cliff coming through for the business on the high peak that we do into FY25 and FY26.
Yeah, currently, I think obviously it all depends on IP landscape and other things, but we have secured some 180-day exclusive launches beyond the ones that we have spoken of.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from Aman Vij.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, my question is on our peptide portfolio. So if you can talk about how many products have we filed till today? And
which portfolio? I'm sorry, we didn't get your question.
Peptide portfolio.
Peptide portfolio.
Yeah.
So we have currently I think 2 peptides that are in advanced stages filed and to be filed, and we continue to have a portfolio of another 2 products that we hope to file. So I would say that is the current portfolio that we have.
Sure. And when are you expecting the first approval for these 4 products?
FY26.
Okay, so no contribution for FY25 at least.
No.
And so these are for US markets or even for other markets?
We would like to commercialize them in other markets also, but what guidance I was giving you is obviously the US market.
Okay. So can we assume that other markets might come sooner than FY26 as well?
There is a patent landscape to many of the peptides. So for post-patent, yes, they will be launched.
Sure. And my final question is, do you think this 4 products will be a small contributor to us or a meaningful contributor in say FY26 or 27?
I think it's a little too early to say this, but important markets are opening up like India, like Brazil, and more. So we'll have to see how do we do fare there. So we hope they will be important. They'll definitely be important launches from the way the attention has been given by the organization, R&D, manufacturing, and all. We hope they will be commercially successful in these markets.
And sorry, do we have any FTF filings on any of the dosages for the same?
Yes. And on SEMA, we are first to file.
SEMA, we are first to file. One particular dose, or is it all the 4 doses?
On the diabetes indication.
On the diabetes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. As there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you very much, and look forward to interacting with you during our next investor and analyst conference. Thank you and good night.
On behalf of Zydus Lifesciences Ltd, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining, and you may now disconnect your line and exit the webinar. Thank you.